Okay, welcome back. For our dish today, we're going to take some of the chicken legs and thighs we manufactured when we broke down the chickens yesterday. We're going to season them, we're going to flour them, we're going to brown them nicely on golden brown on both sides, and then we're going to take and put them into a dish of Spanish rice as it cooks. So that by the time the rice is done cooking, your chicken will be done, completely ready to go as well, and they'll trade flavors, you'll be all set to go. It's a fun dish, it's an economical dish, and I think you'll really enjoy it. All right, for this dish, we took 3 strips of bacon. We're going to cook the bacon up in a skillet. Cook the bacon until it gets to be a nice golden brown crisp. When it gets to golden brown crisp, we're then going to add peppers, the onion, and the garlic to it. We cook that until it nice softens it all up. Then we're going to add the rice to it. We get the rice all coated with the fat and the vegetable juices. Then we're going to add our diced tomatoes right here, 1 can of diced tomatoes. We're going to take some of our nice chicken stock we made yesterday. You know it's a good stock when it gels up like that on top. If it cooks up a little bit longer, another couple hours, it'll be even more gelled than that. It's just complicated. Which should we go as we finish along the line? You want to let the bacon cook until it crisps. Because otherwise your bacon's going to get a little soggy texture. Once the bacon's crisp, we're going to take it out, set it aside, then use the bacon fat, cook the rest of the stuff in, and put the bacon back in before you add the rice to it. So your bacon won't be perfectly crisp, it'll be nice, it'll be nicely cooked and have a great taste and texture to it. So this will take a couple seconds. We'll go in steps and I'll come back so the bacon's crisp and ready to go. Okay, we've taken the bacon out, set it right here. Now we're going to take the onions and the peppers and add them into our bacon fat. You really want that bacon flavor to make this come the way you want to. I'm going to hold the garlic off just a little bit longer because it's so small. It could get a chance to burn before it gets the color we're looking for, the texture we want. Burnt garlic has a very nasty, bitter taste to it. It's not going to be fun to have. It won't take long to get the peppers and the onions cooking the way you want them to. Skillet's still nice and hot. Now, I've got a cup of chicken stock. I've got about a cup and a half of diced tomatoes and juice. I've got a cup of rice. The rule of thumb when you cook rice, if you cook it covered, is always 2 parts liquid to 1 part rice. We'll have that with the 1 cup of the chicken stock and the 1 cup of the juice from the tomatoes. So far so good, nice and going. Now we'll add the garlic to it. There's a wonderful smell to it as well. Nothing terribly complicated at this point in time. Now, the rice will go in. We're not going to cook the rice. We just want to get the rice in and working. We'll add our paprika. It's going to give us a little color. It's going to give us a lot of flavor. All right, now we're going to add our tomatoes. And we'll add the chicken stock. Now remember what we didn't add to the chicken stock yesterday was salt. That's a very, very important fact right now. Because if you don't have the right amount of salt in here, the whole dish is going to take really bland. So what we're going to do is we're going to bring this up to a simmer where everything's warm. Just simmer, warm. We don't want to cook the rice yet because we don't want to cook the rice until we get the chicken in there. But you want to take a spoon and taste it. And then adjust the salt as need be. Because if the salt's not right here, it's not going to be right in your finished dish. Now we're going to season the chicken, but the salt and pepper we put on the chicken will be just enough to season the chicken. We're going to make sure the rest of this dish has enough salt also. I know it's with some salt in because there's no salt in the chicken stock. Yes. Now, Give you an idea how much salt we're going to put in here. Remember, this is my salt and pepper mixture. 16 parts salt, 1 part pepper. With 1 teaspoon and a half teaspoon. Remember what I said, you can always add more salt. It's very hard to take salt out. If we did go in steps, that's perfectly fine. You have a spoon. We don't recommend double dipping. Clean your spoon off or start with a new spoon. Okay, that should be good. All right, I'm going to stop here. Because now we're going to brown the chicken. All right, here are our legs and thighs from yesterday's chickens. Now I've heard people tell you put chicken in seasoned flour. But to be honest with you, when you season flour, you can't be sure where the distribution of salt and pepper is. Salt and pepper are heavier, and in a pretty short time, it's all going to sink to the bottom. In order to keep your skillet clean when you're doing this, especially if you're doing a couple of batches, when you get your chicken ready, take it, lift it up, and make sure everything's got a nice flour coating on it, and make sure you shake off the extra flour. Put it down the skin side first. And you notice one of the pieces of thighs doesn't have any skin in it. We'll cook that a little bit lighter because it won't take quite as much cooking. Don't crowd your pan. Just do it enough. We'll do as many trips with this as we have to. If it takes 2 trips, we'll do that. It will. I'll save all 4 legs for the next section. Don't be in a rush to cook this. Something's going to take as long as they're going to cook. Don't rush it. Just cook it nicely. And you want to cook it a good bit. You want a nice golden brown this chicken because it's only going to cook in the rice for about 20 minutes. That's all that rice is going to take to finish. So you want to make sure we get a good head start on chicken cooking this now. Got medium heat. With the 4 thighs and the 4 legs, you can have enough for 4 regular portions. Obviously, if people are a little hungrier, they only get 3 portions. But normally you expect to have about 6 to 8 ounces of meat protein per serving. If you do that, you guys should have plenty to eat and should leave the table satisfied. Alright, the chicken's all browned. Throw a nice backing on top of the rice. All the bacon, get that back in. And we'll put a lid on this. And then we said it'll take about, try that again. Chicken's all brown. Back in on top of the rice. Put the bacon back in. Now we're gonna let this cook. And I said it'll take about 20 minutes, but that's 20 minutes after it comes back to a simmer, because that rice was allowed to get cold. So once that rice comes back to a simmer, we'll put the lid on it, we'll let that cook. In fact, I'll put it in the oven to finish it up, and we'll check it in 20 minutes. We'll see what it looks like. All right, so here's our finished product. 375 degrees, it took about 30 minutes all told. It looks great. I'm looking forward to tasting it. It looks like it's gonna be delicious. You got a thigh and a leg for each person, plus a nice serving of rice. There's probably some extra rice in there. So that's what your finished product should look like. Hope you like it.